crashing as we're breaking down the walls. Lightning flashing, lucky I got you. You got me. Rainbow crossing as we're heading for the sun. Ain't no stopping, ready. I got you. You got me. Dragons at the gate, they won't stop us getting to the top. Flying into space like a rocket, never giving up. I was all alone when I started, always been the same. Now you're here, the journey's uncharted, everything will change. You know we rule the world. You know we rule the world. Rule the world. You know we rule the world. Rule the world. You know we rule the world. Rule the world. You know we rule the world. Stars up high will guide us home. You and I, it's time to take the throne. Dragons at the gate, they won't stop us getting to the top. Flying into space like a rocket, never giving up. No, never give up. I was all alone when I started, always been the same. Now you're here, the journey's uncharted, everything will change. You know we rule the world. You know we rule the world. Rule the world. You know we.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thanks for joining. I wonder where Krista's at. Oh, and we've got Krista. Hi, Cupcake Krista. And we've got our guest, Rachel. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you ladies doing tonight?
Good.
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 Krista, how's the weather down in Florida?
Very hot.
Really?
We were supposed to have a cold front today. That's what my friend Soup said. And yeah, no cold front.
And what's a cold front to you? 30?
50.
All righty. And how about you, Rachel? Where are you at?
Cincinnati, Ohio. It's
Cincinnati.
been raining all week. Yeah.
All right. So we would have been mudded back in if we were down at Dave Purden's, I would imagine. Like
Yeah.
the last time we were there. All right. Well, thank you, Rachel, for joining in. And Krista, thanks for helping me out again. I really appreciate
Sorry, I
it.
missed last week.
Hey, that's all right. You had your mini vacation. I was happy that you got away. All right. So, Krista, do you have any questions off the bat? You want to go first or?
Sure. Did you go to Dave Purden's this year?
No, I was actually planning on it, and then I had to work on my day off. And since it was raining all day on Sunday, we just figured it wouldn't be worth it to get there on Saturday and, you know, stick around in the sun or the rain all Sunday. So, but I went last year, the year before.
Yeah, sorry we missed you.
Yeah.
That was a long drive for us. And Shane drove and Krista flew. She cheated.
I flew to a fly-in.
Yep. All right. So we got where you're from. How old were you when you first started? Let's just start out. What are you here to tell us about?
I guess I'll tell you about my journey, facing my fears to learn to fly. I've always been scared of flying, even in planes, and scared of heights. I think that's a common thing in the paramotor community. But yeah, this was actually last year during quarantine. I'm like, what am I going to do with my life? And my husband had been flying for a while, so just decided to, face my fears and learn how to fly. And I was 33, to answer your question.
So what do you fly? Airplanes?
I fly Oh no. I'm actually still really scared of flying airplanes, which is silly. I don't know. My husband's interested in learning. I'm definitely not. I have no aviation background, so learning to fly a paramotor was very, very like hard work for me. So I fly an Atom 80
Okay.
paramotor,
And you're foot launch or are you doing trike?
foot launch.
Okay. Question in the chat from Bill H. He goes, how many hours have you flown? Do you know?
That's a great question. So I actually don't know. I wish I would have started tracking my hours during training. I have I think it's PPG Lite app or something on my phone, and I forget to open it before every single flight. I want to say I'm probably somewhere around like 14 hours-ish, something like that. Again, that's just me guesstimating
Okay.
how long.
Do you have like an hour meter or anything like that on your?
Yes. So interesting enough, I actually didn't like all throughout my training and then also for like probably a month after training, I flew my instructor's Atom 80 because I was still on the fence as to whether or not I was going to buy one. And then once I finally decided I did want to actually do this, I took my husband's Atom 80, but only because he wanted to upgrade to a Moster 185. And so I do have his little flight hour tracker on there, and I should know how many hours that's on there right now, but I can't remember.
Okay. So what got you into the sport?
I think it's mainly just watching my husband do it for over a year, and I went to Salton Sea fly-in right before COVID in 2020, and I had a few tandem flights there, and it was like the most incredible experience of my life. And even during those tandem flights, I was like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to do this myself, and I was still kind of scared doing it. And they were like, you should totally do it. You should totally take training and everything. But yeah, it was pretty much just seeing, like, I'm into geology and nature and everything. So seeing Salton Sea from an aerial view was super interesting to me and made me think how awesome it would be if I could do this. And, anywhere I'm traveling and just see the world from a different perspective.
So I know you and I both had been chatting and afraid of heights.
Yeah.
What can you explain about how you feel when you're flying now?
It's interesting because, I thought on my first flight, looking back, that once I was up there, I'd be like, I'm going to pass out, my knees are going to feel all weak, and, I'm going to freak out because I'm scared of heights. And once I was up there, even still today, over a year later, I look down and I'm actually not scared at all. My knees don't get weak. My heart doesn't go into my stomach or anything like that. So it's just, it's incredible. I think it's mostly you just feel safe and, the strapped in and everything's all tight and you're in control, I think is also a huge thing too.
Yeah. Krista, you got anything?
Yeah, where do you fly in Ohio?
Well, we had a few locations. I used to last year fly like 45 minutes away from my house at the Ohio airport, which is where I trained. And it's actually mixed with farmland. So this year they planted corn. We weren't able to fly there much because of that. The corn was taller than us and it's a very narrow runway. And typically the wind is not going straight down the runway. So you have to kind of maneuver. And for me, I always just want to run straight towards, the corn. So we have a couple of local parks that we can fly from that are roughly 30 minutes away.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tony Marzano from Las Vegas, he's got a question. Did you train with Captain Kurt?
No, I did not. I trained with Predator Paramotor, Chris Holbert in Ohio.
Okay. How many students were you alone, or were there a few students training with you at the same time?
Yes, I was actually training with one of my friends, my husband's cousin. We did it together, and also one other student. So there were just three of us in the class.
Okay. So you said that you, in the chat earlier with me, well, we were just chit-chatting before the show. You said that you actually you started logging your wing training.
Oh, kiting. Yeah.
Kiting, yeah. You started that. How do you like kiting?
I love kiting. I love like the challenge for me, and the fact that you can start adding more and more to, take more control of the wing. I think people have seen like people ride one wheels while they're kiting. That's not me by any means at this point, but when I was training, kiting was very much a challenge for me. So now that I finally figured it out, I just really enjoy it. So last year I did not log any of it or track anything. And I thought, just to kind of track how I'm learning, and so I can add in new things, try to walk around cones or whatever while I'm kiting. I thought I should start tracking it. So it's a very basic notepad where I just put in the wind, what it's doing, what time of day, and the time in which, and then also just noting any challenges that I have so I can look back, and it's kind of like my little diary for kiting.
Good.
Yeah.
Cat Girl, she's been a past guest. She wants to know if you've got any scary events while flying.
Oh, well, there are some, I don't know if they're necessarily scary. There's some instances that happened, which I'll show you in some pictures later. One was it was in the intro in the beginning. You could see I was taking off and I went towards a windsock, and the windsock actually stuck to my lines while I was flying, but it was totally safe. Nothing scary happened at all. I haven't had any deflations or anything crazy happen while I've been in the air. The other thing that's happened, not necessarily scary, but very much a pain, you'll see in pictures later, is on my second or third launch after purchasing my own wing, I stopped while I was running on launch and did not hit the kill switch fast enough. The wing came down over my prop and it chopped a huge hole in my wing. So it's scary because it was a lot of money to get it fixed, but
yeah, wow. Bill H has a question. Do you or your husband have a YouTube channel?
I've got one. In the beginning, my family got me like a DJI cam to start logging my flights. And I was like, I'm going to try to edit videos, which I'm horrible at. So I've got one, PPG Rachel, but I think there's only like 3 or 4 videos on there. I haven't had time to edit anything since last year. So nothing serious. I think my husband's got one too, where he just posts random flights sometimes. And his is, I think, Dustin Tiemeier.
Okay. Sorry about that. I had to mute. The dog was barking. Let's see. Krista.
What wing do you fly?
I've got
And
a Gen. Yeah, I've got a Gen Bolero 6. It's actually a paragliding wing, but it has paramotor risers on it. It's basically like a Gen Pegasus, if you've heard of that. But the paragliding wing is called Bolero 6. And the main reason I got it is because I wanted the color yellow. and not one of the other Pegasus colors.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right. Never trust a skinny chef. Shane, Cupcake Krista's husband, wants to know how you keep your hair from flying into the prop.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I actually have to like braid it or put it up in a tight bun underneath my helmet kind of, and it gets annoying. But the best thing is when it's in the fall or the spring and it's a little chilly, I'll just put a hood on. So that way it's underneath the hood and then put my helmet on. But that's too hot in the summer.
Do you find that it's hard with ear protection, even with, I mean, my hair isn't that long and it's like, I feel like wearing a headband or even just a little bit of hair there, it seems like it still brings in a lot of noise.
Yeah, I actually haven't had that problem. I just put it in a tight bun, kind of
Okay.
right here.
All right. Cat Girl wants to know places that you want to fly.
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. So I follow all of these paramotor accounts on Instagram for inspiration. Like, this will be my 10-year plan. I'm gonna fly, like over the Bahamas, like Tucker or something like that. I doubt that I'll actually have the guts to do that because I am terrified to fly over water. But I think it would be super cool to fly on the beach because I'm in Ohio and there's, nothing like that here at all. So I would just say the beach, anywhere.
Well,
At the beach here.
yep,
Yeah, I'll have to come
put out
visit
my
you.
Cupcake Krista. Yep.
Come on down.
Will Fly wants to know what wing and motor you fly.
I've got the Parajet Maverick Atom 80 motor, and then I've got the Gen Bolero 6 wing.
All right. So Bill H, he says now he recognizes you. Bill H, explain that.
Oh,
You know,
I don't
Bill
know
H?
Bill H, so maybe if he explains, I'll know. Maybe I met him at a fly-in.
Will Fly says, do you like flying high or low and slow?
Oh, I'm kind of torn. I like both. I like to fly high because then it gives me confidence that I know I'm safe. If I needed to pull a reserve for some reason, I've got more than enough time for that thing to deploy. Or if I take a small deflation, it'll inflate. But I do enjoy flying low. I just don't do it because of safety reasons mostly. And I'm definitely a slow flyer. I have no desire to ever get a speed bar or anything like that. I just like to chill up there and relax.
Okay. Yep, go for it.
What other fly-ins have you been to besides Salton Sea?
So I've been to Salton Sea, Dave Purden's last year, not this year, Moonshiners. I think that is it. We were going to go to Endless Foot Drag last year and we didn't make it, but would like to go there sometime.
You know,
Were
it's
you at Moonshiners this year?
Yeah, that's where I think I met you. You just don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe you do. Yeah. It was very brief.
Okay.
Yeah, they came
Yeah.
over like on
The golf cart.
Saturday morning, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think after you woke up, because you're a late sleeper, I think, Rachel.
It's an Ohio thing.
Oh, that's right, because Krista does too.
Thanks, Krista.
You're welcome.
Will Fly wants to know who was first in flight. Ohio or North Carolina?
Ohio, come on. Right, Krista? Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Tulo, you in here?
Cat Girl is asking, was it hard to learn foot launch with the weight of the
Yeah, it was. I read the training manual, and I'm not going to lie. Before, I signed up, I got this pamphlet to review and videos and all that to watch for training, and it was like, start carrying a backpack, a 50-pound backpack, and walk around. And I'm like, I don't think I can do this. What am I signing up for? And it was very challenging. I mean, I flew like morning and night for an entire month and literally felt like I had been beaten. Like I went to a boot camp workout or something. It was just very heavy. But I think after that month, I just really got used to it. And once I got everything dialed in terms of the harness adjusting, to my shoulders, it was much more comfortable.
Okay. And then there's the 7AK3 says, why is your brother so awesome?
That's my brother, Jake. He's awesome because he's my brother.
Hi, Jake, the brother. Krista, you got anything?
Yeah, I was dying to say that. Why is your brother so awesome?
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Bill H said in Ohio they flew gliders first. Sorry, Will. No question yet. So thank you.
All right. So you said you went to Predator Paramotor.
Yeah. Mhm.
Talk a little bit about that. Who was your instructor?
Chris Holbert in Ohio here. So my husband trained with him. So I got to actually sit in on his training and see how everything was done. And I'm not going to say I was comfortable with it at that time. I mean, my husband would walk out the door and I would literally be like, this might be the last time I'm going to see him, because I was so terrified of everything. And just being around it for a year, I decided just to sign up. And yeah, and Chris was great. I mean, you'll see in pictures, like he definitely had his work cut out for him with me, because mentally there were days where I was just like scared. I didn't want to get in the air, and I definitely had to overcome that. And it was more of a mindfulness activity for me, really. Like I had to meditate before quite often and focus on just visioning me taking off and running into the sky successfully. And once I did that, it just all clicked into place for me. But he was very patient with me and definitely like did things differently so that I could feel comfortable and help me get in the air.
Okay.
Walter has a question. Who is your favorite YouTuber?
Oh, sorry. I actually don't really know. I tend to watch a lot of random YouTube videos, like people building in-ground pools and random stuff. But from a paramotor perspective, I pretty much watch all of the videos I can find. I do love Paragliding Talk with Robert Michaels. I watch that a lot.
That's awesome. All right. Looks like we got Michelle Burns in here, and she says Rachel's going to be my support while I'm in training.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So Michelle's actually in Ohio too. I don't know if you met her before, but I met her at Dave Purden's last year because Chris Holbert, our trainer, took her up on a tandem. Well, after he found a balloon in the air and brought it down to her and found out it was her birthday, he was like, let me take you up on a tandem. So now she's going to be training. And since she's local, I told her I'm going to do my best to be there every day. I think it's really helpful when you're going through training to have someone there to boost you up, because there were a lot of days while I was going through training, like, what am I doing? I don't think I can do this. And if you've got that support system like I had, it really helped me get through it.
Definitely. Yes. Michelle, make sure she's out there cheering you on and contact us too. We want to hear about your story sometime also. And we'd like to follow you and your training also. That would be awesome to hear and see some of that. Cat girl, Krista, you actually look like cat girl.
I know, sorry, the cat is crazy. Does your brother fly also?
Oh, no, he does not fly. I don't think he'll ever want to fly, honestly. I did get him to try to ride my one wheel though. So slowly getting there. Maybe the paramotor's the next thing.
Yeah, come on,
What does he
Austin,
think about
brother.
you flying? I know, right? Yeah.
What were you saying, Krista?
What does he think about you flying, Rachel?
He thinks it's awesome. He doesn't seem too scared. Actually, most of my family is very supportive about it, surprisingly. Like, I would have thought they would have been much more, maybe worried about me doing it, but they've been really happy. I think for me, it's helped me a lot, like with my anxiety, because I did face those fears, and it gave me a lot more confidence in everything that I do, in addition to it being, a mindful activity. And while I'm in the air, launching, landing, anything, it's all I'm focusing on. So there's not much in life that, takes your mind off of everything else going on in the world. So I think, like many, it's definitely therapeutic. And I think it's kind of helped me overall, with my family. They're probably like, Rachel's more chill now. So
your brother says he's afraid of heights, and he says, no, thank you. Yeah. Come on, dude. It's like, we're all afraid of heights here. It's like, gonna let the girls beat you up here. Cat girl, I'm trying to find it in the chat here. She had asked, are you over the fear of heights? I don't think I'm ever going to be over the fear of heights, because every time I'm up there, I go, I can't believe I'm looking over the edge. But
yeah, I don't get scared while I'm up there anymore. I never really did. In terms of the fear of heights, I'm more scared of when I feel a bump. I'm like, what was that? Am I going to be able to react appropriately? And things like that. So I still have the fear of heights, like climbing a ladder, looking over the edge of something. That's definitely still there.
Totally agree.
How's your bump tolerance?
It's like negative 100, if that's the thing.
I'm there with you.
I will literally be like, what is this, And so I started the practice of looking up at the wing while I feel bumps, because I'll feel a bump and be like, what is my wing doing? And sometimes it's difficult to see it fully with your helmet on, but I think that's helping me kind of, build up that safety feeling by seeing the wings not actually doing anything. It's just the, cold pockets of air that are making you feel like a little bump.
Have you ever gone up on a tandem on a trike?
Yeah, actually I've done the first tandem I did. This is actually a funny story. I can't remember, it was maybe December. Yeah, this was before Salton Sea. Is with my instructor, Predator Paramotor, and my husband was flying, and I was just going to watch him fly. And it was actually like maybe November, December or something, but it was kind of warm. And he has a tandem set up that's a foot launch. And so I don't know if you've ever seen one of those, but it's literally like bars that you're hanging from, and you're not really connected to the wing, right? You're just connected to this bar that's in front with these little carabiners. It's like the most terrifying thing ever, right? If you've never flown. And he's like, hey, let's go up and say hi to your husband in the air really quick. It'll take like 5 minutes. And I was like, no, maybe like next year. I'm not feeling it right now. And he kept saying, I was like, okay, fine, we'll just do it. We'll just go say hi. So he strapped me in, and we had a successful first launch. You know, it was just run, run, run as hard as you possibly can. And went up there and waved to my husband. He was like just in shock that I was in the air because he knew I would never do anything like that. So it was pretty cool. And then in Salton Sea is when I had the 2 tandem trike rides that were really cool. I like the tandem trike. It feels much more safe and secure being around, you know, all of that and having wheels. So maybe one day I'll fly a trike.
Well, that's what I fly, and I got a bad knee, so that's why I do it, and I like it. So I like to do touch and goes. So I am still giggling here. Thank you, Will. Will, those are earbuds. Will says Rachel's earrings gave me an idea. Why doesn't somebody make paramotor earrings? He'd wear them.
That is too funny.
So one night, said we'll break the rules and we'll let the guys come on, and they all dressed up. And what did Will have on? Did he have the mop? A mop on his head for a wig?
With Christmas balls.
Oh, and he still has his Christmas tree up, so he was wearing Christmas ornament earrings.
That's hilarious.
So Michelle Burns says, Wilfi is giving me ideas for epic earrings. So Dustin is asking, who gave you the trike ideas? Your hubby.
Oh, rides.
Oh,
The
trike
trike
rides.
rides.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah. He it was a couple of people. I am horrible with names. One name I cannot remember for the life of me. But then during that time we were staying in like a camper with our instructor and Matt Minyard and a couple of we just rented this huge camper. So Matt took me up on one of the tandems, and I had no idea who he was at the time and everything. So that was really cool.
So you said that you don't do any so-called acro or anything like that. Don't really plan on doing it, right?
No,
Does your
that's
husband
right.
do any of that yet?
No, he does not, and I am thankful for it, to be honest. I hope it stays that way.
Yeah, don't turn your back on them when you're on the ground and they're in the sky, because you will see them doing things.
Right.
I caught my husband in the air when I had my back turned, and he was almost upside down, and I called him, "What the heck are you doing? That's not me."
Oh my God. Was it him though?
Yes.
Was he lying to you? Oh
Yes.
gosh,
Will busted him out.
that's scary.
I do micro mini wingovers. They're like this.
If it's fun, you know, why not?
Anyway, so how many flights do you think you have now? What did you say? Maybe 30?
I've never actually counted the number of flights that I have. And since I was flying, like during training, there were days where, you know, I would have 10 flights in one day, because it was just like boom, 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 morning, night. So I honestly have no idea, but those flights would be like maybe 5 minutes, right, at a time, or, you know, I'd get up there and chill and then land or do a touch and go. So I have no concept, and that's why I'm like, I need to start tracking this so that way I can actually tell people. And it's also good, right, to know how many flights you've got, at least the hours for maintenance on your motor. So
Yeah.
I'm going to start tracking that.
The other thing I was thinking of while you're flying, we were talking about this the other night. Do you listen to music or anything yet while you're flying?
No, I do have a Sena comm, and we use open channel comms. So anyone that's flying around us, we just chat. I have not listened to music or anything like that. I like to hear what's going on around me kind of. So I'm not quite there yet with the music.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just starting to get into it, but I don't like it on takeoffs and landings. I like to hear my motor. So,
Hmm.
Krista, you got any questions?
So how many people do you normally fly with?
Usually it's just, I could be anywhere from like 3 people to sometimes, like if I was flying where there's training going on, there could be like 10 people, which kind of gets a little hectic. That's why I'm nervous to fly at a fly-in. I just don't really care for when there's a bunch of air traffic, and if you want to land, you can't, you know. So I would say probably the most has been 10 or 12 people, but on average 3.
That's good.
Do you have lights on your rig yet?
So,
No, I need to figure out what I'm going to do. My husband has the North Star strobe, so I was going to get that, but I hear they're not making it anymore. So I'm definitely open to ideas if anyone's got any. I love the colored lights that some people have.
Yeah.
Just not sure yet.
Cat Girl's got a question. Do you get cold up there while you're flying? Guess it depends on if there's
Yeah,
an excursion or not.
in Ohio, definitely in the spring and winter. There was last year when I was flying in October, I had, I think, 2 or 3 pairs of gloves on, which was really difficult for me because getting used to wearing gloves with the throttle and using the brakes, it was just very difficult. I didn't like it. I think I had like 2 pairs of pants on, 3 shirts and a winter coat, and it's just not for me. So I try to fly when it's warm.
Yeah. Well, you should come up here and fly with us this winter. The coldest we did was 9 degrees.
Oh my God. Do you have a snowsuit?
Eric's got an old one that he has from when his dad worked up in Alaska, and he stays pretty
Wow.
warm. I've got my snowboarding gear on and I hate wearing gloves, and it's just horrible getting used to it.
Yeah.
But we did do some electric battery operated gloves, and then those seem to help a little bit. Deweese from Mississippi. Hi, Deweese and Randy. We met them down at Moonshiners. She's asking, how far away from the landing zone do you fly? Do you take off a couple miles, or do you just kind of stick around the airport?
I mostly just fly in the vicinity. I haven't really done a full cross country yet where I'm doing miles just because I haven't felt comfortable enough yet. So I like to just hang out in the farm fields around.
Do you do any foot dragging at all?
No,
Corn dragging?
no desire to do that yet.
Oh, Krista, do you have anything? Otherwise, I'm going to ask her when you're done. I'll ask her to show her videos and pictures that she's got.
this is a question from Shane. How do you warm up when it's 9 degrees and you come down from flying for Ohio or Wisconsin person? We're Florida people, so.
You go first. Rachel.
Jade. So the time I can recall when I flew when I was freezing, I literally ran to the truck and just blasted the heat and sat there and just, did that. But definitely interested to see if Jade's got any tips.
Well, this winter, we were able to fly right off of our lake. We have a little 25-acre lake that we live on, and it's kind of got a northwest, south, or north and south, east and west runway that we were able to do. And we didn't get snow until probably late January. So for a while there, we were actually out on glare ice. And I know one time I took a face plant and I told Eric, I said, I'm going back in. My knee hurt, everything. I was done. I was trying to get my wings set up. But I remember the day that we went, and it was a morning sunrise flight. And we took off, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 miles down the road, and we just came back, and it was beautiful. It was actually quiet, and it was like the pine trees around us, they were like frost on them and everything. And we just came back, put our stuff back in the garage, and came in the house, and we made a little path in the yard to get down to the lake, and was cool. I remember getting down and I was like, woohoo, I was screaming. My neighbor was videoing us, and so it was awesome. So
Awesome.
trying to think, other than, I think those gloves have saved us because they're kind of like a liner, and they've got the heat elements in each of the fingers, and then you can put the battery packs in like the cuff area. There's like a zipper pouch area for those. So those were pretty nice. It was hard getting them from Canada during COVID and everything this last year. Let's see. Oh, Tony Morzano says whiskey and coffee will warm you up. Yeah, after the flights.
After.
Michelle Burns said to reference you, Rachel, I heard you like beans, though, from Chris, and she says, haha, I love you. So
Yeah,
on
I'll
that
show
note,
you
I
what
think
that's
you better
about.
go into your videos and your pictures.
Okay, let me.
I got some
try
questions
this
on
out
that
here.
last one I did on the intro too. I'm assuming that's a bean field.
Yes. So you're about to see here what it's all about, the beans. This is actually my first flight, if you guys can see this. These are the beans all around me here. And luckily I didn't actually pick up any of the beans, but you can see I jump into the seat a little bit. I ran so far because I didn't put full throttle on immediately. This is me. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is my first tow over water. That was definitely terrifying for me because I didn't want to fly over water, but it was the most amazing experience. Got up to like 4,000 feet. And flying without a motor was amazing. So I would love to learn to paraglide eventually. This is actually one of my landings during training. My instructor talking me in. Landing was very difficult for me throughout training. During probably the first week, I just could not grasp the concept. I would, butt slide in often. And this was like maybe one of the first times you can see I finally landed like on my feet, but barely, and was trying to make it into like a quick touch and go. I was going to restart my motor.
Nice.
This is one of I love morning flights. This is one of my morning flights. One of the dogs that hangs out follows us around. Still, you can see all the beans. Let me see if I can find.
Where's the flag one?
Oh, here. Let's see. It just went away. Yeah, I was trying to find the bean one here. Hold on, I've got it somewhere. Oh, the flag. Yeah, so definitely should show you guys this one too. This is funny. I don't know if you guys can see.
Yep, we can see it. Oh,
This is actually, I don't know if I can zoom in here. This is a windsock attached to my my wing here. So let me see if I can play this video for you guys. So you can see what happened. But I was on launch and I still can't help but laugh at this. See if it'll play for me. Doesn't want to let me play it. Well, let me see if I can mess around with this, and I'll show you guys something else while it's loading here.
I'll see if I can, I can't remember where I put it.
Yeah, I don't know why. Oh, here, I'll show you. Yeah, so you guys kind of saw the field and how I had to, like, you know, the runway was quite narrow during training. So there are beams all around. So this is me landed in the beams. I think this one, you can see my wing here, just right, here's the runway right over here. So I just missed it. But now this is all corn. It's much more difficult. So I'm hoping next year it'll be beans again. This is my wing that I chopped that I was telling you about.
Oh,
So
I was
stopped
wondering what that.
running on launch. Yeah, so this huge hole right here should have not been here. It just got sliced from the prop.
So how did you get it fixed then? And who did you send it to, or?
Yeah, we I'm sure just as any glider, Jen gives you, you know, tape. So we sent a picture to you know, Jen, just to confirm that we could successfully use the tape that they send you, the patchwork. So we did that. It's temporary. I actually made my husband fly it to test it out because I was a little nervous, and flew with that for a little bit. Then I actually shipped it off to Jen to replace. They had to cut out the whole thing and replace it. Took a few weeks.
Oh. Where does that get shipped to then?
It was actually their headquarters, like in, I forget what country they're in,
Okay.
but it was, yeah, definitely quite some time to get back.
Well, I don't know what
See
I
if
did
I
with
can-
that picture. It's with the yellow wing, right? With that video we're looking for?
Oh yeah, yes. Let me see if if it's loaded. This is my that Salton Sea Trike Tandem that I took.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you can see it was just beautiful up there. I can't wait to hopefully one day get out there and fly myself.
I have a video here. Let me see. I don't think this is it though.
It's called Windsock Buddy, in case you see the title.
Is this it?
No, that's my first flight.
Okay, yeah, you showed us that one already.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry if it was loud. Well, I have it in, no, I don't have it in I do have it in the intro.
Yeah, you do. And then luckily for me, you cut off right where I grabbed the windsock. So just shortly after that moment, after is when I thought for some reason I could make it between these two windsocks, and that was definitely not the case. The one windsock ended up attaching to my wing, and I'm up there flying around with it, and it was totally fine and safe. I didn't even realize it was on my wing. So as soon as my husband's telling me on the comms, you took the windsock with you. I'm like, what? How is that possible? And maybe it's gonna, I think I might have got it to work. Yeah. So then After that, I
Miter?
just landed.
Power?
Right there.
You took the windsock with you.
Yeah, so then my husband takes off, and you can see like one, is up here. There's somebody trying to get a picture out, like check it out, like what's going on. So I eventually just land and
That's
take
a
it off.
beautiful
You can
shot
kind
there.
of see it very tiny. Yeah, I love foggy morning flights. They're amazing.
Will Fly says that's one way to keep track of the wind. Take it with you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dustin's comment, you took the windsock. All right, you guys got any
Yeah.
more questions at all? We're coming to the 8 o'clock hour.
What's your favorite part about flying?
I think for me, it's just like the total relaxation and how it's, just takes my mind off of everything, and just, I don't know, it's just super peaceful, and being able to see everything from above is really cool.
Yeah, Dewey said and made a comment that that's really pretty flying over the clouds. I think that's one of my favorite things is like if we're over a river area, like down at Dave Purden's little bit, and last weekend we went down where our school was, and we got to fly with some other graduated students and stuff, and it was pretty neat along the Wisconsin River. That was neat. Oh, my mom just texted and she wants to know if you put the windsock back.
I did, and I was really worried actually that it was like broken or something, but it wasn't even broken. I was able to connect it right up and give it back. It wasn't my windsock, so
Oh,
I was
good.
able to give it back to the person.
Oh, all right. So you said that you are just a few things on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Do you have Instagram or TikTok or anything like that?
Yeah, I used to post a lot on Instagram, which is PPG Rachel, and I just post all these different flying videos, but I've got footage from this year that I haven't even touched. I haven't had time to edit it, so maybe this winter I'll get around to it.
All right. Well, and you're more than welcome to come up here and fly. You bring your hubby up and fly with us anytime too.
Oh yeah, in the 9-degree weather.
Yeah. Well, it's not during the summer. I mean, you can come during the summer too.
That's true.
Let's see, what else? Are you willing to stick around for a little bit for an after show? So if anybody's got any questions at all, and then they can ask you direct.
Yeah.
Awesome. Eric's putting in the code in the chat right now for everybody. You can bring your husband on at that point, and even now if he's around.